Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pop On to Pop Off here on a Tuesday, I believe the 3rd of October, and about 7:25-ish p.m. here on the East Coast of New York. Our normal time for Worldwide Ramblings is Saturday nights at 11 p.m. East Coast time. We had a very successful show that is still growing in numbers. Just go to the live section of the virtual Church of the Dissolution and you can watch the replay and comment there. We were talking about, amongst other things, we were talking about Jerry Shilling, former member of the Memphis Mafia. Did he spill the beans about Elvis being alive well past 1977? That topic was just a suggestion made by Marianne Rossi, not Donna Rossi, something that she saw in one of the Bob Joyce's Elvis Facebook groups. And it was just a question, no verification. Certainly Jerry Shilling is welcome to write in at Jack the Fair Guy, FAIR, Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com. And tell us whether that's true. Maybe someday we could do a Zoom interview. I don't know how it would go. I'm not saying he's in my fan club. You know what I mean? But already people are joining us, like Paul McCreary, not Paul McCartney. Hello, Paul. Champagne Lynch is here. Well, good evening. I don't know if we've had you before on with us. Where you are watching from, Champagne? I like that name. Deborah Lake, one of our regulars. Hello. Hello. Judy Wright, not Betty Wright, the cleanup woman. How are you? Using my surname, are you? Don't be surly on me. Also, Barbara Kendall, who was with us for a time on Saturday night. Nice to have you, Barbara. MG4, hello from Texas. Well, what's your story, MG? What do you do in the Lone Star State? What's the impact of the migrant situation? Do you see people in your particular town or city? Oh, you're in New Jersey there. The heart is blocking the full part of your of your town, city, or village. So it almost looks like Seward, New Jersey. And we know that's not right, campaign. So I need to see the rest of it. What's the rest of your of the place you dwell? I welcome you. We have several from Texas. Yeah. My son, I think, is in Texas right now with the 18-wheeler. Yeah, of course he is. He's in Dallas. He is in Dallas doing his last run for this particular company. And then he's going to join a company that does the same kind of accounts out of Odessa, Texas. And I can just tell you, if he happened to, he says he never watches or listens. If he's watching right now, he's not going to be happy with Daddy. I have to learn to shut me mouth. I got to shut me mouth. You don't want me talking about him. I got to shut me mouth. That's spelled Moute, mouth. Oh, let's see. Sewell, huh? You are the jewel of Sewell, Champagne? You just moved from Myrtle Beach. Now, wait a minute. It's supposed to be the other way around, Champagne. Was it very expensive living in Myrtle Beach? I bet it was. I wouldn't mind living in Myrtle Beach. I used to live in Rock Hill, South Carolina. MG4 says he lives in northern Texas. Town has population of 400. Don't see many immigrants. They've been coming into all kinds of places, though, small areas. So I'm not sure how far you are from the border in terms of miles, but I'm trying to think of some of the sheriffs I've seen on from places that I had really never heard of in Texas. First name Mike. Hi, first name Mike. I'm in Chicago listening and maybe watching unless you're driving. Don't watch if you're driving. Just listen. I'm glad you're here, Mike. One of the nice things about coming on at an odd hour for us, as we see new people as well as our great family that joins us. We're mostly live on Saturday nights at 11 p.m. for Worldwide Ramblings. We hear from everywhere from Australia, Cape Town, South Africa, certainly other parts of Europe. We heard from Sweden. I got something from Sweden in my comments section. They didn't text in or type in live, but we heard from Sweden. Beautiful people in Sweden. That's what I said to them. You always think of everybody in Sweden is like movie star, handsome or pretty. Bob is obviously Elvis, and everyone thinks I'm nuts. Well, not here, they don't. You found the right place there, firsthand, Mike. I don't know if you know my videos, but I am known as the chronological storyteller of the Bob Joyce May Be Elvis. I speak of possibilities. I could be wrong. Champagne Lynch says, been on here before, but I'm not I'm not a drink. You're not a drink. Well, no, I understand that. You don't drink the champagne. Remember Saturday Night Live? You'd have to remember Christopher Walken. It was a great bit on Saturday Night Live when he would be the guest host of Saturday Night Live, and the camera would just be on him. You would never see the woman who really didn't exist that he was playing to, but he was trying to, be Mr. Classy and, well, seducer. What else can I say? And he would pour the champagne and he would look right into the camera and he'd say, would you like I can't do Christopher Walken. I wish I could. Would you like a glass of champagne? Oh, no, he was doing a character with a mustache, maybe a Frenchman. Would you like a glass of champagne? That made me think of that. Let me put on my specs here because I'm blind as a bat, like those bats that hang out in Austin, Texas, under the bridge. I mean, we're talking hundreds and hundreds of them. Nella Queen, somebody new. Hi, hello. I'm in Alberta, Georgia. How far is that from Stone Mountain, Georgia, where my partner Karen's grandkids live? Like your videos. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's very nice to know. Cheryl Everhart, one of our regulars, hijacking family, as we just pop on to pop off. But yeah, getting some new people. You're pronouncing my name wrong. Well, I'm not pronouncing Lynch wrong, so it's not champagne. So give me a phonetic spelling. Give me sound it out, syllable by syllable, write it out, so I won't get it wrong. But how about Champagne? That's a real cool name, actually. I would say you'd be the only one in town with a name known the name of Champagne. So you can't get first name Mike wrong. It's just so easy. So we're going to talk, Mike, a little bit about Elvis, just a little bit here. What about his guitars? See, I'm not a musician. Most of you know I was a oldies, top 40 DJ for many years on the radio. Radio is now dead in many markets. That means music. Talk radio, sports radio, and even a little news radio still does well. It does well. And country music, too, especially in some markets, They're always trying to make it seem like New York is a country market. And there are a lot of big country fans, but I don't think it's really, it's not like Nashville or Memphis, for goodness sakes. Oh, sorry, Mr. Penn. The red pen. Is that what they used in Secretary with the original Mr. Gray? Anybody know to what I refer there? With the great James Spader, one of my favorite actors, James Spader, who was so good in Boston Legal. And of course, then The Blacklist. What happened to the man's hair? The man lost his hair. All of a sudden, he has no hair on top. You mean all that time on Boston Legal, and maybe even in that great movie Secretary with Maggie Gyllenhaal, he was wearing a wig. Well, it was a good wig. Charmaine. See, I wouldn't have got that. I wouldn't have gotten that Char, but that's very pretty too. And then you made me think of my favorite state, Maine. So it's a win all the way around, Charmaine. Okay, I got it now. We have a number of lynches in this town. We do. Oh, geez. Did I go to school with any? I'm not sure. But I one or two ran a business. Yeah, just can't think of the name. Jimmy Maybe joins us for sure, not maybe. Thank you, Jimmy. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Um, well, let's see. We got, do I have a count? Where's my count? Oh, my count is up higher than normal. 18 watching. Yes, please like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell when we do come on live. Yes, you will know about it. It'll say Jack Willard Live. You'll hear a bell, and you'll get notice of that. And either you'll know to run in the other direction or check it out. Let's see here. Yeah, someone from Australia emailed me. Let me check into that right here. Charmaine. Yeah, I heard from Paul in Australia, and he was asking about the design on the guitar. Similar. He's talking about Bob Joyce's guitar. Now, see, I always see him, Paul. If you should happen to see this, please comment, whether it be here live or in the replay, which will be, as soon as we finish this, it will be available in the live section of the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. He says, we've talked before, and he had to kind of jar my memory by including the past emails. But he mentioned Shakespeare, which really threw me through a loop. I'm not really a Shakespeare kind of guy. I was a big fan of Jonathan Frid and Lewis Edmonds from Dark Shadows. They did so much stage work, and they did a few Shakespearean plays. I think I know Lewis Edmonds did, but I'm just trying to see here. By the way, the only other conspiracy for me that has any credence in history was Shakespeare Marlowe. For me, the evidence is overwhelming. And of course, Paul, you're going to have to explain more about this. I'm intrigued because I know nothing about what you speak of. I only have a GED. I went to broadcasting school for 13 weeks. This is why talk radio, well, let's just put it this way. I better control the subject and I better, I'll do my homework first so I don't look foolish. But when you only have a GED, you're and of course I have read books. I have seen certain documentaries, but it's limited. But the guitar you're talking about on Household of Faith, I'm not sure. Way back when, because we've been covering this topic for 6 years, way back when, 2018, 2019, I didn't cut myself off the air, did I? No. I'm still live streaming, right? Got scared there for a minute. Okay. 19 watching right now. Way back when, 3 people that I talked to and sort of knew went to Household of Faith one Sunday. They had all chipped in for a guitar that they said was identical to the one in Blue Hawaii that Elvis Presley used in Blue Hawaii. And they say when Bob opened it, his eyes lit up. Lots of people come to Household of Faith and they bring gifts for Pastor Bob from all over the world. Why would they do that? I don't know. But this right here, from Blue White. Didn't really look like the guitar they showed me because I remember purple in it. I remember purple in the guitar. I'm not saying he only used one guitar in Blue Hawaii, but there is that one right there, right? That'll probably be our thumbnail for this video. And then, of course, we talked about the blue suede shoes. That's not doing as well as the Jerry Shilling live show. 3 times the views for you, Jerry Shilling. And we're only asking a question that somebody posed in a Facebook group. And I took too long to get to it. In the future, I won't do that in a live show because I took, those shows are long. This one won't be anywhere near as long. Because, I've got to watch Dark Shadows and I've got to watch a little bit of, maybe Eric Bowling on Newsmax or something, and then Dark Shadows, which airs on either Tubi or Prime Video or probably Pluto as well. Start with episode 210, the first Barnabas Collins episode, if you're brand new to the show, and you will realize why 57 years later, thousands of people still watch Dark Shadows. And in cases like Karen and I, over and over, it was on for 5 years, so we watch it over and over, a couple every night sometimes. I know it sounds crazy, but it's that good. It's that good. So here's Gene Ho, who goes to Household of Faith with his blue suede shoes loafers. It's another, I don't know who are the people with him, but he's a wonderful man, I'm sure. I think that's what everybody says. And he was President Trump's campaign photographer in 2015 and stayed with him in 2016. And he speaks to conservative causes and what have you. And he gave the reboot. He began George Magazine, and there are several issues of George Magazine. You can find it on Amazon. Go to their website, just look it up, do a Google search, and you'll find George Magazine. And there's several issues with articles by Pastor Bob Joyce. All right. So there's the blue suede shoes. Someone says, no one gave him those shoes. Well, I didn't think so, I didn't think so because he would buy the shoes. I mean, Bob Joyce is not selling blue suede loafers, He's not selling blue suede loafers. I understand. Nancy DeMarco joins us. Hi there. One Hip Chick is with us as well. And Don Stribing, right? Hello, and thanks. Thanks for the memories. Thanks for the memories. Okay, if I start singing, I'll definitely lose the audience. Another Deborah Miller. Hi from Wellington, Florida. So you just came here to make me jealous. Oh, I want to move to your state, but then again, in October, I could move it there in October and blow into South Carolina the same month. I'm not sure about this. I think I don't want to be there around October, November, but I sure want to be there January, February, March, and April. And in the summer, I really want to be in Maine. So what do you think about that? You're not a snowbird, are you, Deborah? It's a little early. You wouldn't be there yet if you were a snowbird, I guess. I know in my heart he is still alive. Yes. Well, many people that check into this neck of the woods certainly believe that as well. So nice to see some new people and some of our regular family. I don't remember where you are from, Don, if you ever told us, but I'm glad you're here. And when we do a pop on to pop off like this, we're just here for a little bit. But I do want to thank those that watched the Jerry Shilling video that's still climbing in our live section of the channel. Of course, if you watch it on your smart TV, if you put in Virtual Church of the Disillusioned, all our videos come up on your smart TV. You can watch it right on the TV, and they just mix everything up there. They don't separate live from pre-recorded things. Our video, Who Preached Lisa Marie's Private Funeral, The Verdict 2, is our fastest growing pre-recorded video right now going towards 34,000 views. Thank you for that. The Verdict 1 is going towards 82,000 views. So that's good for us. We don't do incredible numbers here, unfortunately. I could use that if it did. But I thank everyone who watches and comments, and we try to get back to you, and other people, of course, interact with you as well. Frankfort, Illinois. So we have a Chicago and we have a Frankfort, Illinois. Great, great. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just a couple of minutes of politics. I could lose people here. I'm a conservative. Most people that watch this know that. What's the old saying? If you're not a Democrat by the time you're 30, you have no heart. If you're not a Republican by the time you're 40, you have no brain. That's one saying I've heard. Used to be a very liberal Democrat and still remember some great Democrats back then, but it has been overtaken by progressive brats that don't care anything about the Constitution, don't care anything about anything but their personal agenda, and there's nothing holy, there's nothing rooted in the things that made America a great nation. So today they oust Speaker Kevin McCarthy from the speakership. It's like these days to be the speaker, they want an order to vacate, which they use today. People like Matt Gaetz, who I think is going to end up shooting himself in the foot, has been threatening and almost, McCarthy had to go through 15 votes before he got the speakership. And now, here's the Democrats, the progressives really watching this chaos and just eating it up. And it throws everything off course. Nancy Mace from South Carolina was part of throwing things into a total confusion today by voting to oust him. She was one of the 5 that did. Well, he made promises to me that he didn't keep, whatever those promises may be. The first thing you realize when you get in a position like this, or president or whatever, things take time. And when you've got a slim majority, you can't expect everything to come to fruition right away. And it's not fair for somebody to become the Speaker of the House, then he's got members of his own party threatening him right and left. So now they're just eating that up. President Trump spoke on that. He was not happy with this. Why are we fighting amongst ourselves when the Democrats are trying to destroy the country? Why are we doing that? So I'm not so sure Matt Gaetz is going to get the kind of reception that he has been getting from, say, conservative media inviting him on. And Nancy Mace, I just, it was like I could see payback written all over her face. This is payback, Kevin McCarthy, because you didn't do exactly what I wanted to do at the speed I wanted you to do it. Yet we were moving forward, and now everything is up in the air again. And if we lose in 2024, that, as the great governor of Florida says, Ron DeSantis says, we're not going to get a mulligan. In other words, we may not get another chance to save this country from total ruin, as Kate Hepburn would say, ruin. It's all ruined. Okay. So that's it. That's it for politics, unless I comment on something that you comment on, Look at these new people here. Well, hello. I think I got to bring back my Dollar Tree glasses because they're the best for reading the screen. But these, I'm like Fred Sanford on Sanford and Son. He had a drawer full of glasses, and he would go through like 3 pairs before he found the right pair, They were all phony glasses, of course. Critter is here from Ontario, Canada. Are you a crispy critter or are you a rare critter? It's funny you say critter because today we went to Soon's, which is like a, how do I describe Soon's? Apple cider, apples, apple orchards, peach orchards, all this. So what's the name I want to say? It's a pretty big place, and sometimes they have great bakery stuff, but not so much today. I did get some maple fudge though, but you go around back with your bag from the supermarket, because we can't have plastic bags in the supermarket in New York anymore. You see. And what I was looking for at 43 cents a pound is critter apples, because we feed the deer. And there's a video right up here. You'll see a couple of the deer. I have to do more outside stuff. But I got about, I don't know, 25, 30 critter apples for a reasonable price. And they got a few dings in them and stuff. But the deer will love them. They won't know the difference. You know what I'm saying? We have raccoons that come here every night. We have sometimes, one time I saw four. And so all our cats died. I've been here 14 years. There were seven cats when I came. They've all passed away now. But we're now feeding raccoons and at least two feral cats, Buddy, and one we haven't even named yet. And sometimes we have quite a field of deer that come from, because there's woods behind us. So I got the critter apples today. I did, but I didn't get my apple turnovers. Maybe on the Friday they'll have. It's called Scotty's Pies, and other things that they sell, other baked goods. Huh. And let's see, Jenny Patton, listening, maybe even watching from Auckland, New Zealand. Hi, Jenny. Now, someone wrote me from New Zealand. I think that was you, right? Someone sent me a message. Either it was in the comment section or an email. And unless we have two watching from New Zealand, I think I asked you, or I asked whoever it was from New Zealand, what life is like in New Zealand, because I don't really know much. I guess if I had one thing in my mind about New Zealand, is especially during COVID, the government was very authoritarian. You could confirm that or not. Christopher, I like the way you spell that. It sounds like you would be an artist with one of those French hats. What do you call those? Tilted, Christopher Salter from Canada. We're getting a lot of Canada people. Yes, Pastor Bob, Joyce certainly is great. And thank you, Don, for letting us know where you are in Illinois. Oh, and Deborah Miller is from Wisconsin. Where a lot of political candidates are descending, and as they are in Iowa and also in New Hampshire. But always great to see some new names and some older names like Scott Baker. So Elvis behind Trump's speaker in 2020. You believe that was Elvis? Yes, I've been told that many times. I just can't see that if Elvis, in other words, who we think is Elvis, Bob Joyce, was sitting behind the president, that President Trump would call him out on it. He saw a man that maybe he felt looked like Bob Joyce, right? But with a bigger beard, like in disguise. And but yeah, a lot of people have said that, and you could be right, or you could be. What's that Billy Joel song? you finish it for me. But Jerry Shilling certainly was in the Memphis Mafia, and the video is going past 1,800 views. We have a live show that's 2,000, about 2,700. But that it took a while to get there. But this video is doing quite well, and I very much appreciate that. Keep in mind, we do Worldwide Rambling Saturday night at 11 o'clock. And I'll do a promo video before it, letting you know what topics I come up with. But your topics are always welcome, whatever you want to talk about. Kevin had to go. Kevin? Who's Kevin? I didn't see it, Kevin. I find I have dry mouth these days. Anybody deal with that? You know, I have a defibrillator implanted in my chest, just as a precaution. I have no symptoms. I feel great, but I have cardiomyopathy. And since one of the symptoms of that is sudden death, which can ruin any day, if you think about it, at least in the beginning, then it's all up to the grace of God how the day goes from there. Um, seems to be causing dry mouth, but I forget that it's even there. I haven't gone swimming or anything. Some people do. But if Bob Joyce wasn't Elvis Presley, why does he do all of Elvis Presley things? And why does he have some say two broken pinkies? See, I'm not a pinky guy. I'm not a notice the guitar kind of guy. For my friend Paul C., who's in Australia. Hello, Australia. I think we have others from Australia. We may have some from Australia that watch, but they don't talk no more. They they keep their mouth shut. Well, Tony Soprano would have told you the same thing. Keep your mouth shut. Yeah, I'm not, I'm not disputing it, Deborah. If you watch my videos, like the verdict number one, our biggest video ever, um, I come to a conclusion at the end saying that, in my opinion, I could be wrong. I speak of possibilities. He is. But I also have a video. Well, maybe Bob Joyce isn't Elvis, which has gotten quite a few hits because I cover all bases. I go through some of the things. You have to not just say things that support your case, but you have to go the other way. Like I would say, I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. That's true. But I could list you a dozen things that would point to me that there's something wrong with this whole thing that I just don't understand. But I choose to believe anyway, also based on an experience I had in 1984, which I'm not going to share now, but I choose to believe it. But it's a faith walk. And I could list a whole bunch of things that don't make sense to me. And I could start with the children at St. Jude's Hospital. But I will go to my grave believing in Jesus. That's to me the only possibility. As Rick Warren, who wrote the Purpose Driven Life, said, I believe, he said this to a college student that didn't like him even being in the college speaking. He said, I believe Jesus Christ represents my best chance of eternal life. Well, you can't get more honest than that, right? I think that was a pretty honest statement. Well, look who joins us, Mark Fortner. Steve Bannon is suggesting that they make Trump speaker for 100 days or so, get the ball rolling on a lot of the issues. Well, I think you have to be in the Congress, right, to do that. So I don't see that happening. I just got the feeling from watching Congresswoman Nancy Mace tonight with Brett Baer that this is all about payback to her, and I don't ever remember a time when to become the Speaker of the House, you had to jump through 1,000 hoops and pledge this to that and this to that. Because when you get in there, you realize things move a lot slower, especially when you have a very narrow majority. So I don't know. I think Nancy Mace made the wrong call. Certainly, the rest of them, Matt Gaetz and probably Chip Roy, right? He is an angry man. So we'll see what happens, but it's just another distraction we don't need. That people like Hakeem, I say Joaquim sometimes, I realize that Hakeem Jeffries, who to me doesn't have an ounce of integrity in his whole body. He will just delight in that. He will delight in that. He said, we're gonna. He might as well said it. He did say the first part. He said, we're gonna support President Biden today, tomorrow, next year. We're supporting President Biden. And he could have added, look, do you think we give a damn about him peeing all over the Constitution? That was written by old racist white men. We don't like the Constitution. You think we have traditional values? Haven't you been paying attention? We're pulling the wool over everybody's eyes. We got the women on The View. They're not witch, but something that rhymes with it, you know? Oh, so we you don't think we're not about representing the people in our state. No, no, no. We have an agenda to totally transform into America into something that's a little bit like Cuba, perhaps. A little bit like Cuba. I'm on my soapbox. I better stop. Don't get me started. Sorry. I'm sorry. Elvis would be 79 or 80 years old. Where do you get at that age, Scott? Elvis would be 88. They say that the current pastor, Bob Joyce, is 70, 71. I think he just turned 71. But when we speak of that, I think that age, we're talking of Robert Wayne Joyce, who married Willina in Texas in the 70s, had 3 children with her. And somewhere along the line, um, I was he the pastor first? Was he a pastor there? I think so, but I never been able to verify that. Somebody verify that in my email, jackthefairguy@gmail.com. And by the way, verification is not just saying, yeah, he was. Give me something. Give me some meat. I gotta have red meat here, you know? I gotta feel good about it. I gotta try to back it up. Second source would be great, that kind of thing. So Robert Wayne Joyce should be about 71 years old right now, who married Willina. There's a marriage certificate on this. But now, well, as of 2011, a man who looked different. I'm going to show more pictures on Saturday night on Worldwide Ramblings, 11 o'clock on this. A man who looked different from Robert Wayne Joyce. I mean, if you look at the young pictures of Robert Wayne Joyce with the black hair and beard, with Willina Hattie, who became Willina Joyce, he looked nothing like Elvis. Nothing. But as he grew older, interestingly, he did start to look a little like Elvis. But you can clearly, in my opinion, I speak of possibilities, could be wrong. It's two different people. And we'll show some more pictures on Saturday night. U.S. Representative Troy Nehls of Texas has already come out and said he will nominate Trump. Well, I believe it was Mr. I could be confusing him because I saw this guy. I tune into CNN sometime just to, you know, so I can throw up and go back to either Newsmax or Fox when I'm not watching Dark Shadows. But I don't know if that can be done, Mike. I don't know, and it would be very difficult. He is so busy right now. As you know, he has to appear. He doesn't have to appear in New York, but he is. And now they put a gag order on what he can say because he's been saying all kinds of things. I mean, he's no fan of Letitia James, and he points out that from the get-go, she was out to get him. And I would hope at some point the Supreme Court would step in and say, no, 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 no. You can't make it clear that you're out to get someone before you've even assumed the office and then be the very person who tries to be the executioner. It's just not right. Now, back in the past days, maybe even 5, 10, 15 years ago, that would have been clear. That would have never happened. But things are happening today that we've never seen before. I promise it's possible, but you're right. He would have to accept it, and he's going to be in court a lot. And I'm very worried about that. I'm very worried about a house arrest. Can you believe they said Mar-a-Lago was worth 18 million, was it? $18 million? There's a house on the same street that just sold for what, 52 million. It's not a luxury resort with tennis courts and pools and every kind of luxury facility and an incredible banquet hall and all this. It's worth like a $500 million. It's worth like a $500 million. So they're being so outrageous. I think it's going to snowball, and with God's help. Not that Trump isn't a very flawed man. I'm very well aware. Sometimes he's his own worst enemy, but he did some great things as president. Most of you know I have said that I'm also a big fan of Ron DeSantis. Some of you are, some of you aren't. Um, It would be a lot less friction. I think Ron could actually defeat. It's not going to be Joe Biden. So now we're talking about Gavin Newsom. I can't believe it. Do you see he's putting a woman in to replace Dianne Feinstein with no political experience whatsoever. But he already promised Joy Reid on MSNBC that he would appoint a black woman. So now it's a discrimination in reverse. It's insane. And of course, she's extremely woke. She's extremely progressive and will tear this country further down. 28 watching right now, just for a pop on to pop off. So please watch the Jerry Shilling video in the live section and the Elvis Blue Suede Shoes. And like that, if you haven't already, if you do like it. She's from Maryland. Yes, that's right. She doesn't even live in the state. She doesn't even live in the state of California, right? Insane. This is what we see going on right now. Do you have bobcats? Doesn't Hudson Valley have extraterrestrials? Says Don. Well, go to our live section, Don, and you'll see a picture of aliens in one of the shows from about, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks ago. And I talk about Pine Bush, New York. I've been there. I have passed the UFO museum this summer, but I haven't gone in yet. We'll have to do that. Now, if they had a real live alien in there, I would go, but I don't think they do. They have an alien outside, and you can sit down next to him on a bench. The alien is like this, and you can take your picture with the alien in front of the Pine Bush UFO and UFO and Ghost Museum. Because they have both in Pine Bush. But you're right. Pine Bush, New York was basically, I used to say the East Coast capital of UFO sightings, but I think it might be in the world. But that slowed down. See, the aliens don't like crowds. That's why they would never move to, say, Newark, New Jersey. They wouldn't want to get shot, So as more and more people start to show up in the summertime and literally trespass on farmers' fields, put their lawn chairs out to wait for UFOs. The aliens apparently said, we're going to move this base. People think they literally fly into we have mountains surrounding. It's kind of like the Catskill Mountain, the start of the Catskill Mountains behind Pine Bush. And they think that the aliens fly in and have a base right in those mountains. I don't know. But there are certain paranormal shows that have come to Pine Bush. And I talk about it in that video, that UFO video. So please be sure to check it out. Check it out. Yes, I do believe in UFOs. I do. I don't believe Michael Jackson is alive. I don't believe JFK Jr. is alive, or Jim Morrison, or any of that. And I certainly don't believe that the kids at Sandy Hook were actors. So let's just, I do the Bob Joyce thing. That's all I do. Although I do have a video up on Paul McCartney. Is he really dead? Check that video out. Let's get some hits on that one. It's already got a few, but not as many as I would like. So yeah, I'm glad we have 32 watching right now. 32. So say hello if you haven't already, and please subscribe and like. And remember, Saturday nights at 11 o'clock for Worldwide Ramblings. I'm glad for the Texas people. My son will be at the terminal in Texas for the company that he works at. First name Mike. Matt is a superstar. Are we talking about Matt Joyce is a superstar? Do want to note the passing of a great singer who I loved his music so much. Terry Kirkman passed away. He was the lead voice for not all, but many of the songs from the Association. He sang Cherish by the Association. He sang Along Comes Mary for the Association. He passed away about a week ago. He was fantastic because the association were just fantastic. If you want to hear a pretty love song that really expresses the human experience of what it's like when you fall in love, when you fall madly in love with another person, everything that touches you, play it on Spotify or right here on YouTube. Everything that touches you by the association. That to me is one of the most prettiest love songs ever written. Yes, yes, yes. I go off on so many tangents. Even I surprise myself sometimes. Uh, there's a thing called, there's all kinds of tricks they're using these days, Scott. And I know people that are doing them, and I see an incredible difference. Um, Gee, Karen and I were just mentioning the term. I've heard of med baths, and I don't know what they are. So uh, comment in the don't comment in this thread, comment in the replay thread what a med bed is. Well, good evening. Hi, Susan Carter. Hello, good evening. We're just kind of winding down here. She retracted her message. She doesn't want to say good evening. Oh, well, okay, be that way. um Yes, I don't think we'll be seeing Trump as the Speaker of the House. He's bogged down in legal appointments, you know, and as I said on Saturday night, the way this could work with Gavin Newsom is after all the primaries and people have voted, um, Joe Biden could say he's decided that he's not going to be able to be president for the next 4 years, and so is going to withdraw his name. And those delegates could just switch over their support to Gavin Newsom. Whoever the Democratic Party is saying it should be the guy or the woman. Obviously Michelle Obama, you can never count her out. In terms of Bob Joyce, though, I do try to cover all bases, and that's why I even did a video saying, is Pastor Bob Joyce the son of Elvis? Not too many people on that train. Most of you that believe that Bob Joyce is obviously linked to Mr. Elvis Presley believe he actually is Elvis Presley. And, people visit from all over the world, all over the world. And so in our Jerry Shilling video, which is doing so well in the live section, I'm simply asking a question that was asked in a Facebook group. And I thank Marianne Rossi, not Donna Rossi. The reason I say not Donna Rossi is we know a Donna Rossi. I try to have nicknames for some people, like Judy Wright, not Betty Wright, who was the cleanup woman. Yeah, Judy is definitely on the 88 page. I understand. Bobcats, though, I'm trying to think of the sports teams we have here in the Hudson Valley. Up in Dutchess County, we have what's the name of the stadium? Oh, don't forget it. I can't. This is what happens with short-term memory. Right there by the Veterans Hospital across the street. I guess it's just Dutchess Stadium, right? Yeah. I'm trying to remember something, but we have the Hudson Valley Renegades, and they are now a New York Yankees farm team. And my goodness, the Yankees need a farm team with some real talent. Well, they have the Scranton is the number one farm team for the New York Yankees, but they just finished a horrible season. And I really think it's time for Aaron Boone and Terry Cashman to take the train to the plane. I want Paul O'Neill to be the manager because he'd be wild and crazy and passionate. My son thinks I'm nuts, but I would go for Paul O'Neill. I don't know about for the Terry Cashman job, maybe Trump, huh? He knows how to make those deals. So I have a video up here called "The New York Yankees Will Never Win a World Series Again." Please look at that video and see what I'm saying there. And I'm a Yankee fan. But it's not easy like it used to be. The pitching is now incredible. Incredible. I will see you Saturday night. Good night. Well, thank you, Deborah Miller. I'm glad that you will be coming. I'm sure Deborah Lake will join you. And I'm very pleased that you dropped by tonight. So we always have a good time on Saturday nights with a plethora of topics, more pre-recorded videos coming up as well. So pop on to pop off can happen anytime. If you missed any part of it, just check out the live section of this channel, the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. Thank you for the likes. Please like if you haven't already so more people can see this. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so when we do pop on or when it's Saturday night as a reminder at 11 o'clock East Coast time, you'll know that we're live and you can hopefully participate. All right. Pop on to pop off. Pray for America. These are dark days, all kinds of crazy things happening out there. Oh, Tucker Carlson did a real kind of his first real kind of show on X, formerly Twitter. I saw it last night with the great Victor Davis Hanson. Watch that. They have it here on YouTube, but that version seems to cut out some of the video when he shows video clips. But he had an interview with Victor Davis Hanson, which knows probably better than anybody, although Candace Owens is amazing too, as is Tulsi Gabbard, the times we live in and exactly what's happening. So I'm hoping to see more of that. They even called it Tucker Carlson Tonight. I've been so desperately needing a Tucker fix. There's nobody quite like him. Talk to you Saturday night, if not before. My name is Jack Willard. Thanks, everybody. Rush Limbaugh is Jim Morrison. They're both passed away, and Rush Limbaugh was the greatest talk show host in the history of radio. The man could sit down at a microphone and hold an audience of many, many millions without taking a single phone call if he wanted to. There's never been another Rush. I love Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. I listen to them all the time, but Rush was the greatest of all time, like Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.